Hi, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know what's going on. We're not going to do this if it's going to be crazy. Hi, guys. Welcome. I may not be streaming from YouTube because I'm not sure what's going on. Welcome to day 3 of Meditation and Mindset Makeover. Go live now. I don't know. I do not know what's going on. Hi, Vincent! Baby Vincent! Hi, guys. Thank you for the hearts. How are you? I don't know what happened to YouTube. It was being weird. How are you? How are you? Hi, Maggie Fitzpat. Welcome. I was trying to do this through YouTube, the stream through YouTube, and it's just not. It's not working. What's your name? Is your name Maggie? That would make sense, right? All right. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. Okay, so welcome. All right, I am doing the Mindset and Meditation Makeover. And what that is I'm teaching you guys how to get in touch, tap into the mindsets, the law of attraction practices, and the meditation practices that you can use to attract a soulmate. And the reason I teach this, the reason I think this is very important, because I think when someone has the right relationships, they can thrive, they can grow, you will grow. The people that you surround yourself with, I forget who said this, but they said the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most is who you become. If you are attracting relationships that do not empower you, that do not serve you, that do not make you feel good, that do not help you grow, that are not honest with you, you're never going to be the person you're never going to find the highest version of yourself. It's like you become stuck. However, if you can attract, if you understand what's going on, if you start within yourself, that's really where everything starts. And you learn how to attract relationships that are loving, that are empowering, that serve you, that are hopefully on a similar journey that you're on. That's when you grow. That's when you really tap into greatness. It's the reason people hire coaches too, because they know that alone we can't do it. 2 people together strengthen each other. Iron upon iron, iron strengthens iron, right? So if you attract the right relationships, there's so much growth, there's so much potential, there's so much love, there's so many amazing things that you can tap into with the right relationship. So I'm really, really passionate about this because I see a lot of people that end up settling in relationships just because they don't want to feel lonely. Or they go for the wrong relationships because they don't realize what's going on in their own psyche to draw them to these people, or what's going on in their own vibration to draw these people to them. And I think, why do I keep attracting the same person, different face over and over again? And really with soulmates, you guys, soulmates don't have to be a lifelong partner. Soulmates come in the form of bosses. You can have soulmate bosses, you can have soulmate pets, children, you can have soulmate friends, and of course the soulmate lover. So that's really what it's all about. Welcome everybody to day 3. So day 1, I spoke pretty much all about affirmations, why some affirmations work, why some affirmations don't work, and really the one thing behind it that makes a difference, and that's energy. The energy you put into it is the energy you're going to get back from it. Day 2, yesterday, we went into creative meditation, how to do creative meditation, the way I do creative meditation, and the way that I believe would work for you if you tried it yourself. If you guys want to see the replays, definitely check out, register at MadelineReinhardt.com. Just register for the newsletter or send me a message and let me know you want to get access to the replays, and I will send that. I'll send you the passcode and the link to do that. Today, day 3, is all about listening to your divine guidance and how to do that, because I get the question very often, how do I know? Okay, so let's say I'm doing all this work. I'm in a really good place. I'm attracting great relationships, and I think I attracted my soulmate, but I don't know. How do you know? So I want to touch on that question, and really not just for your soulmate, but for anything. How do you know if something's the right move? How do you know if you're on the right path? How do you know if what you're receiving is indeed divine guidance, or if it's just your mind? How do you know? So, welcome everybody, welcome. So, as with everything, the first thing, the first key, in case you guys haven't guessed it, the first key is energy. I spoke a little bit yesterday too about how it is so important to trust your heart. And in order to really learn to trust your heart, you have to start practicing trusting your heart. It's a muscle. Just as if you would go daily, repeatedly to the gym to build a bicep muscle, you got to start trusting your heart. Your heart more and more to build that muscle of faith, that muscle of trust. It really is something that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And the more you become aware of when it is the universe talking to you versus your mind. So start getting in touch with the way you feel, with everything, in every moment. Start getting in touch with, how does this feel to me? Because your emotions are your guide, right? When you tap into your heart, you're tapping into soul. And soul communicates through feeling, big time through feelings. So let's say that you have attracted someone. And this actually happened, something like this happened to me last night. I was in a situation with someone and they were like, I don't know the right thing to do. I'm so confused. And I'm like, wait a second. No, you're not confused. The mind is confused, but the heart is never confused because the heart knows exactly where to go. The universe knows exactly what the perfect next step for you is. And it's communicating it to you all the time. It's when we step out of the heart space and get into the mind space that we get confused. But stepping back into the heart space can be super simple. And at first is becoming aware of how you're feeling. So when you're in alignment, when you're into the heart space, if you guys even on the line just want to stop and take a breath with me, just breathing in and tapping into the heart space, it feels like relaxation. It feels almost like a very subtle shift. And actually, Marianne Williamson, she talks about goddess time. And if there's any guys on this beautiful, oh, thank you. If there's any guys on this call, you can call this man cave time. I heard it referred to as man cave time. But Marianne Williamson calls the moment, stepping into the heart space to receive guidance, to get into that feminine flow, she calls it goddess time. And especially for women, right? Because I'm really talking to, when I talk about a lot of this stuff, it's very feminine driven. Stepping into the feminine, especially for you ladies, if you guys spend all day in hustle mode, in work mode, in the masculine mode of achieve, if you're goal oriented, if you thrive off of being able to quantify your day or quantify yourself or quantify everything, well, logically makes sense of everything. If you're always in that push mode, that's the masculine energy and it's push oriented. And as long as you're in masculine energy, you're not in a space to receive. It is so important, whether you're a man or woman, it is so important to get into your feminine energy so you can have space to receive from the universe. Because guess what, you guys, we're not doing this alone. And the minute you believe you're doing this alone, you start resisting what the universe wants to give to you. If you have the belief that it's all on my shoulders and if I'm not doing everything every second of the day, nothing's going to get done. No, I guess I styled it different. If you believe that things won't get done if you're not doing it, then you are severely cutting yourself off from a huge resource which is right at your fingertips. So stepping into the feminine flow literally requires, it will do a chemical shift in your brain, right? When you're in masculine mode, you're operating from one side of your brain. When you go into feminine mode, you flip the switch. So to get in there, again, it's the feeling place. You'll know you're in there because it feels different. It's not goal oriented. It's not pushing, right? It's not, what's the answer? Where do I go? Is this the right person? If you're asking the question, you're not receiving the answer. That's law of attraction. The energy of the question is a completely opposite energy of receiving the answer. So to get into feminine flow, I have there's a couple of ways you can do this. One, obviously, is meditation. I'm huge on meditation. Get into that space, however long it takes. Find your sweet spot to where it clicks in, to where you're no longer pushing, you're no longer in the mind, you're no longer asking questions. You're actually just being. You're able to feel. You're able to get in touch with your body. You're able to just really be. Another way you can do this is through bubble baths, right? Create a goddess time for yourself. Get some candles, light some incense, put on some beautiful music, and just slip into a bubble bath and let yourself just enjoy it. There doesn't have to be a purpose, and really with being there don't make it a purpose. Do something that has no quantifiable purpose. This is just for you to shift into the feminine energy. This is just for you to receive divine guidance. It's a completely different feeling place. Another way to do this is if you can do a free-form dance. If you can listen to your favorite song and just kind of like go with the flow with it. That'll shift. That literally chemically shifts the way your brain's operating, and it puts you into the feminine to receive. Okay, so the first step to come into alignment to receive divine guidance, get out of masculine mode, get out of pushing, get out of even asking the question, how do I do this, what do I do? If there's a time to ask a question, it's right before you go into the meditation. But as soon as you go into the meditation, as soon as you go into the bubble bath, as soon as you go into the dance, get out of the mind, get out of the question, and get into the space of just being, of just receiving, right? Goddess time. You ladies, it's so important to have goddess time, because if we are in work mode all day, especially if you have someone you love and you want to be like sensual or romantic, you're not going to access that sensual, you're not going to feel that romantic sensual feeling in that push mode. You got to get into that feminine mode, and that's where the self-confidence comes from. That's where it helps with the female pleasure. It's hi, hey sweet chickie, how are you? Okay, cool. So that's it. So get into your goddess time. Get into a space of just being. Oh, hi, Sam. Oh, it's so good to see you here. Thank you. Okay. The second thing. So once you get into that flow, let's say you're able to find that sweet number, that sweet spot, that sweet, whether it's meditation, dancing, or bubble baths, whatever it is to get you into that space of just being, of just receiving, then start listening. Okay, that's when the stuff's going to come. When you can switch gears, that's when the universe says, oh, she or he created space. Now I have room to give you, right? A closed fist. If you're approaching life with a closed fist, whether it's for guidance or for money, I look at the hair and I cannot concentrate. Really? Okay, thank you. Really? If you come through life with a closed fist, like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to pounce my way through, there's no room for the universe to come in and deliver to you, right? So you want to think of, wow, thank you, Maggie. You want to think of yourself like coming into this space as being open, right? There's no preconceived notion of what the answer has to look like. A lot of the times too, for me, when I go into my meditation, when I ask for guidance on what are my next steps, I think in my mind, I know what the answer is going to be, and I'm almost anticipating the answer. And if I'm in anticipation, how do you know when the feeling is right? Okay, we'll get to that. You have to start right now, you have to start getting in touch with the way you feel in any given moment. You have to get in touch with if being around a certain person feels good. And you have to start trusting. You have to really just start really practicing trusting that your emotions are always guiding you. So even in this moment, I would say, or even after this scope, for me, sometimes when my mind doesn't know what I want to eat dinner, I'll say, okay, body, guide me to the right foods for me. And then it becomes this really, I'm in a really trusting state with the universe. I would say start with really simple little things, just asking yourself, how do I feel? How do I feel? So I'm going to get back to where I was talking about. What was I talking about? So once you're in the flow, right, you just want to be in that space of receiving. Get out of the question. You're just into receiving. A lot of the times, I've noticed when I was going into meditation, I thought I knew what the answer was going to be, and I was almost anticipating the answer. And as soon as I let go of what I thought it had to be, that's when I got something that was completely foreign to me. I thought when I met my beloved, actually, I was guided to go to a restaurant that I had never been to before, and quite frankly, I was never drawn to before. But one night after this music festival, I was like, I feel really guided to go. It felt really good. To me, it felt really good to go to this certain restaurant. And then I did, I met this person, and then it was, it was love. So just trust whatever you're getting, because sometimes most of the time, logically, it's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. The mind will try to fool you. The mind tries to know. The ego, the mind, whatever, it tries to calculate everything. It wants to be safe. It wants to understand. But the ego can't understand all the infinite amount of ways, greetings from Poland, that you can attract someone or something into your life. And the minute you try to understand, hi Tamiko, the minute you try to understand it, that's when you get confused. That's when you actually get in your way. And that's when you're stopping, when you're trying to force your way, right? Thinking about something, planning something, while it does have its place, it pushes away the universe to give to you. So once you're in this space, once you're into your goddess time, whatever comes to you, whether it makes sense or not, trust it and go with it. Yes, exactly. Yes. Trust it, trust it, trust it. This was the biggest thing. A lot of us are overthinkers, and that gets in the way. If you get guidance and then you stop and you doubt it, you think, well, was that guidance? Like, is that really, like, should I do that? If you get guidance and it feels good, go with, trust isn't always easy to find. Go with it before your mind tries to stop you. Doubt is the biggest dream killer. Doubt will stop you, it will stop anyone dead in their tracks. Go after it. Once you get the guidance, run with it before doubt can really take foot in. If you tend to overthink, you never move forward. Those people that are stuck in overthinking, hi Sharma, I didn't see you log on. If you're stuck in overthinking, you're not moving forward. You're not going with the flow. And the way the universe works, right, with law of attraction, true, it's a means of overthinking and overstimulation. That's so true. We are so overstimulated. We're so, like, not in our heart space, not in that flow. And that's what goddess time is about. But once you get that guidance, you guys, go with it. And you'll know it's guidance because of the way you feel. This is why we want to flex the muscle of feeling, getting into the heart space, trusting the feeling, trusting it, especially when it doesn't logically make sense. Yes, 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 Megan, thank you for the heart, you guys. Okay, so trust it. I would even recommend writing it down, having a journal. This is what my coach taught me too, having a journal nearby. So as soon as a thought or an image pops up, you write it down and then you let it go. We want the more space you have to receive, the more you can receive. The more the universe sees that it can trust you with guidance, the more you say, yes, give me more guidance. I found my beloved by searching for what I wanted on Google. I actually typed it into Google. That's awesome. That is awesome. Congrats to you, Tamiko. That's cool. Who knew you could, right? No one's path looks the same too. I could say, like, you could say, people try to make the path to the soulmate easier by doing, I guess, dating apps, dating sites, or they say, like, if you want to meet someone, you got to go to a bar. I don't know, like, there's no one way to meet someone. Everyone's path is different. And sometimes if you get that intuitive impulse to Google someone on Google, you got to go with it because you might meet your soulmate, like Tamiko. That's awesome. That's actually very funny. So trust it. Whatever you get, the more the universe sees that it can trust you with the guidance, the more you're going to get. Again, it's a muscle. The more you receive, the more you go with, the less you hold on to. Haha, like the grocery store. I'm not sure what that means. If you think about it this way, if you think about it in terms of creating space, if you're getting all this guidance, right, but you're sitting with it, you're not releasing it, you're not moving with it, it's like you have this constipation, and that's probably really a gross visual, but it's like find your soulmate in the weirdest places. You're sitting with it. You're not doing anything with it, and there's not space for you to receive more. The whole point of receiving impulses is to go with it, is to co-create with the universe. Get the impulse and go. Get the impulse and go. Think less. I know this probably sounds totally counterintuitive. Think less, do more, trust more. Trust more, trust, 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 trust. That is really the biggest thing with receiving guidance, is the more you trust it, the more you trust the universe, the more guidance you will get. The less you hold on to, the doubt and the fear and the overthinking, the more space you have to receive. Okay. And that's really step 2. So that's really actually it, the majority of it. When I say, give me 1 second, guys. Oops, it is. It's not you. Be positive and stay strong. Yes, very good. So just to recap, you guys, this was all about divine guidance. And the biggest thing, the biggest way you'll know if you're receiving the divine guidance is because, 1, it feels good. It feels good. It feels right. So in order to really tap into the feeling, strengthen that emotional muscle. Start with the little things. Start by asking, like for dinner, like, okay, what's best for my body? And intuitively feel your way to the right food. And then when you eat it and you notice the way you feel, if you feel uplifted, if you feel energized, it's like you start logging these things in your mind and your psyche, like, yeah, my body, my intuition, my feelings led me to the right food. I wonder what else I can trust it with. Really to start flexing that muscle of faith, flexing that muscle of trust, and tap into the feeling. Trust your gut, trust your gut, trust your gut. 2, create the goddess space. Create the goddess space, right? Get out of the masculine push and get into a space where you can just be, where you can be open, where you can receive. And then 3, once you start receiving, because you will, when you open yourself up, you will start receiving. And sometimes it's immediate. Write it down and go with it. That's really the biggest thing. Write it down and go with it. You got to start. It really comes down to trust. Does that make sense? Do you guys have any questions? And thanks for the hearts too. If you guys, for those of you guys that are new to meditation too, if you're not used to, if the idea of giving yourself goddess time, what about connection? What about connection? If you're not used to giving yourself a lot of time for goddess time, no question today. Okay, cool. It doesn't have to be a long time. It can be 3 minutes, whatever you're comfortable with. I mentioned yesterday finding the sweet spot, right? For me, that's about 10 minutes. How do you know the person is right? So that's what I'm talking about. When you have strengthened the muscle, your intuition, the more you live from the heart, Sam, the less you will be fooled. When you meet someone, you can ask your heart. You can literally talk with your heart. Do you have any other examples of simple ways to trust the universe in addition to choosing food? Okay, I mean, for people, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'll put the question on you guys. Have you ever been around someone that you thought you wanted to be around, but every time you were around them, they drained you or they exhausted you, or after you left, you felt like, oh God, like, I feel gross. Like, have you ever been around someone that after you left, or even maybe during their presence, you felt depleted in some way, whether it was mentally depleted or physically depleted, or you felt sad and you didn't know why? My name's Madeline. Yep, been there, done that. Yes. Okay, that's intuition. Trust the body. Yeah, bad vibes, exactly. Versus, have you ever been around someone and then being around them like uplifts you, and you feel empowered, you feel joyful or giddy or like a kid or just excited. Someone has like really good energy. And more so, it's not even about, some people can have good energy, but you just don't vibe with them. You don't resonate. And that's okay too. And sometimes there seems to be bad energy because it's not necessarily because they're a bad person, but because there's no resonance. Right? Abraham Hicks always talks about people always want to feel like, I always want to be on point and, tapped in, tuned in, turned on. Well, sometimes you're in a place where that's just not going to happen. And that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean they're doing anything wrong. It just means that the connection's not there. Don't force connection where the connection's not meant to be. The more you tap into the more you are guided by what feels good. The more you can become aware of, when I'm with this person, I feel really good. When I'm with this person, I do not feel good. Right? The more you become aware of what feels good, follow it. Be with the people that make you feel good. Eat the foods that make you feel good. Do the things that make you feel good. Right? That's how we discover our passions, because we figure out things that we love to do, and we can play with it and create things with it. It's always back to the feeling. Let your emotions be your guide. Right? And it's almost like instinct. You just feel your way to it. Right? So the more you can trust, the more you start being guided towards the things that uplift you and empower you. And the less time you spend doing the things that disempower you or make you feel sad or make you feel upset, angry, tired. Right? That's your body literally saying, like, shutting down the connection, like, this is not for you. Great examples. I need to work that muscle more. Yeah, great. The more you're guided to do the thing, pay attention to that awareness, right? Yes. Pay attention to your feelings. If I were to say one thing for this scope, is pay more attention to the way you feel, especially around people. People that empower you. I think of it like a circuit. The more you're around people that help with the flow, the more your flow, the stronger your flow gets, the higher your vibe is. And the higher your vibe is, the more I like you too. The higher your vibe is, the more you're going to attract good things to you. It's really just about tapping and tuning on. You're a biggest. Well, thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Great questions. So that's why it starts with feeling. I'm going to re-emphasize it. Feelings, 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 feelings. Know the way you feel around people. Spend more time with people that make you feel good, less time with the people that make you feel bad. Vibes get high. You start attracting more high vibe people that resonate with you, and then pretty soon, boom, there's your soulmate. And you'll know they're your soulmate by the way you feel. There'll be this resonance. There'll be this, like, knowing. It's like you see them and it's like, it truly is magical. We all can have, there are magical relationships meant for all of us. Because when you're tapped in, tuned in, whatever Abraham says, tapped in, turned in, tuned on, it's magical. It really, that's the best way to put it. It's magical. And you can have that in relationships. In fact, I would say if you're not having that in relationships, raise the vibes, become more aware of your feeling, make a point to feel better in every moment, and then see the people that start being drawn to you. All right, so that's divine guidance. And then when you get, so back to divine guidance, pay attention to your feelings, create space, let the images come, trust them, run with them, write them down, continue to create space, receive images, trust them, write them down, go with them, create more space, receive, it's a constant loop. Does that make sense, you guys? Thanks for all the hearts. That's how you receive divine guidance, and that's how you know. It's by your emotions. Okay, I'm going to head out. I think that's really the message for today. The message for okay, good. I'm so glad. The message for tomorrow is going to be radically loving yourself, getting out of that self-doubt, getting out of the mind that is like secretly in the background sabotaging you. That sabotages a lot of us. We don't even realize it until we bring awareness to it. I'm going to be going over that tomorrow and how to radically love yourself so you can attract people that radically love you too, because we want that magical relationship. So, if you guys do have any questions, definitely go to MadelineReinhardt.com. Let me know. What else? If you're looking to attract your soulmate, Legendary Love is about to close in a few days. So check that out too, MadelineReinhardt.com/legendarylove. It's all about the meditations and law of attraction processes to attract your soulmate. What time do you usually scope? I'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST. Same time tomorrow. Yes, the scope will definitely help me. Thanks. Yay! Love you too, Sam. All right, cool. You're so welcome. Yay! Okay, bye guys. Lots of kisses. Thanks for tuning in.